welcome back to Weeby Kids. In today's session, we are going to be making some pinch pots and developing those into making a vase or vase container that essentially some of our ancient peoples would have used many, many years ago for the containing of oil or water or food. When working with clay, it's really useful to have some water very close by for a number of different reasons. When you start with your clay, sometimes you might find that you need to add a little bit of water just to soften up your clay to make it more pliable and usable. And today I'm going to work with a shop-bought clay because this is the most typical source of clay that people have rather than the natural clay. But this is wonderful stuff to work with too. Now, clay initially can be quite hard, so you really do need to have some nice warm hands and to spend a little bit of time with your material, just softening it up. You may also find that it needs a little bit of water, so you can dampen your hands just to get it going, but not too much. If you put too much water on your hands, the clay will just slide and slip around on there. And look, it's taking on some of my natural clay from having been on my hands. So just squeeze and get that into a ball. You're going to get your clay into about 3 separate balls. So to make a pinch pot, you're going to be using your pinchy fingers. So generally speaking, it's the thumb and the fingers. They have a little bit of a conversation. These are your pinchy fingers. Okay, so what's going to happen is you're going to push your thumb into one of the balls and then use the other finger to pinch around the outside as you go. So short nails do actually help with this, as you'll note. So you're going to take your thumb and you're just going to push your thumb into the center of your ball there, just like so. And then your pinchy finger is going to pinch on the outside just to form that as it goes around. So let me see what's going on there. And I'm pinching really hard on the outside. Sometimes it's helpful to use 2 fingers if the clay is a little stiffer. This one is at this moment still. It's not softened up. And as you can see, I'm creating a circle around the outside here. And the aim is to try and have this ridge about the same depth all the way around. So I make a nice even pinch pot. And as I'm doing it, I'm pushing my thumb through and into the clay so that it thins out and becomes bigger up the sides too. Now, when you create your second one, you need to be considering that it needs to be roughly the same size as your previous one. The reason is that you are going to place one of these on top of the other. So roughly the same sort of diameter. They might not be exact, but enough. to stretch out the shaping. Many ancient pots were narrower at the bottom and then became wider at the top, came in and then had a very kind of narrow spout at the top to prevent air getting in. And this would prevent things from oxidizing and going off or going moldy. So we can see what's happened there. Yeah, so I have a little bit of a hot air balloon shape now. So they're getting longer. And the base is where it's going to be standing. So again, take the moment now to look, because when you start pulling at the clay pot, you may notice, let's see if I can get that in the light there, that there are ridges. So again, go back with your water. We don't want our pot to split, and really smooth that back in all the way around. Now we know that in here there is a hollow space inside. So it is now the case of holding at the base, taking your pencil again, finding the middle, and just gently now pushing. I'm just rolling, so I'm rolling my pencil into my pot space inside. And with that clay, I am just going to start a ring around the top. So again, I need to indent my surface around the top a little bit. I need to indent the surface that I'm going to be attaching. It's about right. A little bit longer. Add some water to both surfaces, and then it's the pinch, so those pinchy fingers again. Now you can also, using a sharp tool or quite simply a pencil, you can also scrape into the surface of clay. This is best done when it is, again, slightly damp still rather than dry. So you can then choose to put whatever kind of pattern you would like into the surface. Always also use other tools to help you. So I just have a plastic knife here. You could also use a butter knife, and you can use the knife to help you scrape up your clay and attach that way too. This can also be used where you join the two pinch pots. You could use the back of a teaspoon. It doesn't have to be fancy. So kitchen utensils are also really good if you're looking to make patterns, say with forks. That's another thing, or to use the edge to create a pattern down. You can scratch into the pot. If you want to, you could always paint this once it's dry, or stick with its beautiful natural colors, which is usually what I tend to do. And you can put things like flowers in them, or you can keep them on the side, make a collection. Whichever pot you decided to make today, if it was just a pinch pot, or it was an advancement of 2 pinch pots put together to make a vase, well, I hope that you've had fun and that we see you again sometime soon. Take care. Bye from Weeby Kids.